Hello, guys. Hello, hello. I think we're a little bit low and slow and... Hey, Keenan. Hey, Gear. How are you? Mr. Baker, sir? How are you? Sorry, I just wolfed down dinner way too fast. Keenan, Joseph, everyone, how you doing? So, Joseph, I'm guessing by this time you have already had a chance to go for a drive. How did you like it? Yeah, Wind King. It's seriously my favorite. Let me. Actually, the cup that I normally use on my live streams is really the leg. I don't see where it is. I lost it. Did it?
Left it at work.
Yeah, I could have left it at work too. But yeah, I love it. Actually, growing up, I looked exactly like Ralphie.
Yeah, hi, Pappy. Say hi, Pappy. Yeah.
You're not getting my stuff.
Say hi, Paps.
Sorry. Hey, Jack, how are you? Let's see. People are saying hi to Wing, and nope, you haven't had a chance to drive it yet? Oh, that sucks. Keenan says, Brian, hopefully this new Tundra won't end up like the rest of the vehicles on your street. All right, Keenan, you need to keep your mouth shut, buddy. Yeah, you need to calm down with that. I mean, my truck gets hit, I'm blaming you now. Nobody's said that yet. You were the first one.
Tell you what, if it happens, heads are gonna roll.
Yeah, I probably won't have to worry about having a truck after that. Wind King says, I have a stocking like that. You know what? I love that movie. We seen them when we were at like a little store
Lots.
today. Yeah, Big Lots. We went in and I'm like, I need these.
Yeah.
And she said, well, you just bought a truck. These are $250.
I didn't say that. I said these are $250. Get them.
So, but yeah, I love that movie. It's a great movie. You going to sit down with us, or are you going to venture off?
I don't know. I do have some stuff I gotta do.
Oh, right. Let's see.
Stay for a minute or so.
Jack says, hello, everyone. Driving home from Abilene. All right, well, be safe. Gotta be safe. Wind King says, LOL. Gear says, hey, Jack, be careful driving home, buddy. What kind of dog is Bailey? Bailey is a Sheltie, otherwise known by their long name, a Shetland Sheepdog. So, he's a little bit of...
A loudmouth.
Yeah, he's a little bit of a pain. Wing says, what's the dog's name? He is Bailey. Joseph says, not yes, sir. He didn't get to drive his Type R with the new shift knob, which is very unfortunate. But hey, at least it's just sitting there looking pretty. Let's see. Wing King says, what's up to Gear? Because my dad's truck got hit the other day, that's why I brought it up. Keenan, there you go. You're bringing it up again. But
Sorry, your dad's truck on him.
I was going to say, but was your dad in the truck? And if so, is he okay? And if not, I know exactly how he feels.
So do I.
Exactly. Right down to it being a truck.
You need the yum yum?
How bad was it?
You need the yum yum?
Is it like repairable? Did it get totaled? Gear Runner says, not much, King, just resting. By the way, Gear, how you feeling? How's your BP doing? If you don't mind me asking. Wind King says, YouTube took my video down. Which one? The live one when you were putting the speaker in? Or the one when you were showing the valve cover that you got for somebody else? Kenan says, I also bought my official first vehicle. It's a 2000 Jeep Liberty Limited with leather and a 2.8 i4 diesel.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. You guys can get diesels up there. You could have got a diesel Tundra too, or a Tacoma. We can't. Which, by the way, the Canadian edition, you know, Toyotas are so much better in the U.S. Jack says, how's your mom, Edge? She's not really doing well. She can't remember a lot of things, which causes for a lot of arguments because, you know, moms swear they're right. Even though you can blatantly point out where they went wrong and how to fix it, they still want to do it their way. Not to mention the age, the whole age thing. As people get older and they're set in their ways, they don't like to change, so that doesn't help either. But she's still there. When King says the speaker video. Why? What was wrong with the speaker video? I didn't. You seriously started it, showed how to switch it, gave ideas that other people used, showed me a can of paint, and ended your video. I don't understand that. That's weird. I would dispute the crap out of it. Keenan says the truck cap shattered and the tailgate and bumper are Swiss cheese. Well, the good thing is that means he wasn't hit that hard, because if it didn't buckle the bed or the frame, it should be repairable. The cap is probably another $800 and $800 to $1,000. The tailgate, and probably you need tail lights too. So you're looking at, I mean, total probably about $5,000. So at least he's okay, and you know the truck is salvageable. Jack asked how Gear is feeling. Win King says, I guess the music that I played got flagged. I really don't remember the music. Wait, no, there was like 3 or 4 seconds. I know people that have like 20-second intros of like straight copyrighted crap, and they get away with it. I don't understand. Jimmy Pham says, hey. Gear says, I'm feeling a lot better. BP is lower than it was the other day. It was 122/98 this morning. Still get winded easily. Shot a couple of videos today and got pretty tired doing it. Well, Gear, guess what? You are now normal. I mean, your BP is not normal. It's not excessive, but, you know, being tired and everything and winded, yeah, you're normal now. Which sucks, because I know what it was like when my blood pressure was up. I'm like, woo! I could do everything. I'm like, never tired, never tired. Put me on BP meds now. It's like, I'm always tired. And I'm like, it sucks, but it's better. You just have to adjust your life a little bit. Brandon says, edges! He also says, hey, Gear Runner and Jack. Gear Runner says, hey, Jimmy and Brandon. Jack says, take it easy, Gear. Hope you recover soon. Me too. Hopefully the little bit of a change they made in your meds is going to make a huge difference. Jack says, Brandon, the bed is damaged. The right fender of the bed is screwed. Well, Keenan, the funny thing is, they're made in 2 different layers, so they'll just take the outside layer off, put a new outside layer on. They no longer replace full beds. I don't think they've done that since like 2002. Either that, or they just cut out the affected area and weld in sheet metal. I mean, they really don't replace full beds unless it crumples the bottom. That's the only time. Wing King says, wait, what happened to Gear? Gear's BP shot up. He felt like a normal person there for a while, you know, at his age, and now he's trying to get it under control. Brendan says, hey, Keenan, how are you? Jack says, Courtney, still enjoying the Subi?
Thoroughly. I just added some things to it, actually.
There you go.
Yep.
total of 9,800 because it has a bunch of wiring in the bumper for sensors plus backup camera. Yeah, and I'm sure it probably needed a new tow hitch and everything else. So yeah, I could see how that would happen. It sucks because now you kind of got to get rid of it. Unless it was just a work truck and kind of like a beater truck, which I highly doubt your dad's truck was. So hopefully it didn't open a can of worms. Gear Runner says, LOL, I don't like normal. Neither do I, buddy. Thank you, Jack and Edges. Keenan says, I know there are 2 shells. There are 4 pieces. The beds are actually 6 pieces. The front piece that goes against the window, the 2 shells on each side, and then the bottom. So, yeah, there's a lot of... Cars are seriously just glued together nowadays. They have me eating grilled chicken, almonds, pistachios, and fruit. It sucks. Well, Gear, I thought you were like the king of grilled chicken. I mean, I thought you would like that part. But I'm guessing they don't want you to use all the ketchup and barbecue sauce and all that. But I will say that pistachios and fruit is pretty good.
Not together.
I was going to say what Courtney just said. If you nibble on the pistachios and almonds separately and the fruit separately as a snack and chicken as meals, then it might be a little bit better for you. At least palatable. Brendan says, no sweet tea at Gear Runner. Nope. He quit that a while back. Well, kind of quit that.
No, meow.
Keenan says, my dad is a little bit PO'd. He was rear-ended from a transit bus.
Yikes.
Well, yeah, that's not good. But at least you know it's going to get fixed properly because the transit can pay it. And they're insured. Keenan also said, and the license plate, so sad. My dad's had them license plates since 1993. Oh, the year I graduated high school. Yeah, but yeah, it does suck. Actually, in New Jersey, if you had like the old blue ones or the old yellow ones, not the gold ones that they are now, at one point they stopped allowing you to transfer them, which sucked. What do you guys think about 2006 Jeep Liberty diesel? Great gas mileage, 28 mpg. For a Jeep, yeah, the 28 is really good. I think Courtney's car gets about that, right?
25.
Courtney gets 25. So, I mean, not bad. And why is my phone vibrating?
Because you're ruining it.
Sorry about all the vibrations there, guys. Doesn't sound bad. How do you like the Liberty, though? Brendan says, didn't know that they made that in a diesel. Yeah. Actually, they make a lot of diesel engine cars in Canada. New Jersey. Yeah, I mean, we are our own country, but like California. But the U.S. doesn't really make a lot of diesels. I mean, if you go to like Canada and Mexico and really anywhere else, they're all available, which sucks. Gear Runner says, yep, that's how I'm doing it. I got so tired of grilled chicken. Anyone got a straw because they told me to suck it up, Buttercup. Yeah, that's really what you got to do. Wonder why they were not. Wonder why they were not. Did them in Canada. Diesels get gels in cold weather. They do, but you put a little additive to it, and it's not a big deal. U.S. doesn't have it, especially the 2005, 2007. Yeah, and that's the funny thing. There's a lot of like cars and trucks that are phenomenal cars that are diesel that the U.S. don't make, or that the U.S. can't get. And there's even like transfer and custom laws about bringing those diesel models to the U.S. for some of the things. I think it's more the larger displacement motors, though.
I'm gonna go upstairs.
Okay. You gonna go take him with you?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Sounds great. Courtney's leaving.
Well,
Brandon says Dirt Every Day on Motor Trend did a cheap truck challenge, and an old Liberty a few years destroyed that car. You know what? And it's weird because some of them diesel cars are just great. And it's not like the emissions put out anything worse than, say, a 70 Chevelle or a 69 Camaro. Or anything worse than what we run down the tracks that we're allowed to run. So Keenan says, I paid $4,000 for it with 109,000 miles converted. Well, that's not bad. And it's a diesel, so the motor is going to last long. I think the biggest thing that you have to worry about is the electronics in the Jeep. But I mean, other than that, you should be fine. The motor will run forever. I mean, worst case scenario, you can always swap the motor into something else later. Sorry, guys. I got to plug you guys in. There we go. Where am I? Jack says, I know eating chicken gets old, Gear, but it's a lot better than a heart attack or a stroke. Eat a lot of grilled vegetables too. Drink a lot of water. I fully agree, Jack. That is some really, really good information. A lot of people think that when you have high blood pressure that you shouldn't have a lot of fluids because fluid builds up around your heart. It's actually kind of the opposite. The more fluids that your body brings in, the more your body's actually going to flush off unless you have a high sodium content diet. If you have a low sodium content diet, you'll actually run the risk of dehydrating drinking more water, believe it or not. So not to mention that it's just better for your kidneys, your liver, and everything else. Brandon says, exactly, Gear. Diesels usually last a lot longer. I agree. Gear says, yep, Jack, definitely is. I had grilled chicken and broccoli at Albury's today. It was good. You see, and that's one of the things is if you have to be put on a different diet like that, it's a perfect time to go out and try different things. And if you don't like it, you don't like the diet you're already having, so what's it matter if you try something new and you don't like it? I mean, it's different if it's disgusting, but, you know, it gives you a chance to branch out because you get bored of the same old thing. Yeah, we all need to start exercising, Gear. Trust me. They have me on a Mediterranean diet? Hey, that sounds great to me. King of the Cree says, what's up, everyone? Hello, sir. How are you? And welcome to this fine stream that we have this evening. Gear Runner says, hey to King, and so does Brandon. Jack says, I put a lot of hot sauce to get some flavor because grilled chicken has a bland taste. You know what? There are a lot of different seasonings that you can use on chicken because chicken actually adapts to flavor very well. If you marinate your chicken, you should be fine. The only problem is a lot of the marinades are high in salt, so just be careful. And if you are going to be using salt, use Himalayan sea salt because Himalayan sea salt actually lowers your blood pressure. It helps with kidney function, all around renal function, honestly. It helps keep your potassium levels correct. Even though it's still a salt, there are a lot of benefits to it. And this is a really bad representation of it, but I want to. It will show you what I mean. If you look in there, let me see if I can get it out. Himalayan sea salt comes from one mountain chain, and that mountain chain, if you can get Himalayan sea salt that is like on the Tibet side, it is very high in nutrition. So if you look at this, I have 2 pieces. Let me see. All right. You have that piece and that piece. You see how one is kind of like, let me stand up and try and give it a background. You see how one is clear and one is dark? The darker that your Himalayan sea salt is, the more vitamins and nutrients that are in it, and the better off and the more health benefits that it has. There's something like 132 different vitamins and minerals in Himalayan sea salt. It's ridiculous. Even for people that don't have blood pressure issues, I highly recommend switching over to it. Just go ahead and look up pink Himalayan sea salt, and it'll give you a list of all the benefits. It's like pages long. It looks like you're going through like accessories for your truck or something. I mean, it's ridiculous. Is Himalayan sea salt pink in color? It actually is. If you look in here, you can see, this is actually a little bit better. You see how you have like that dark one in there, and then that dark one up there, and then these couple real dark ones? The darker it is, the more health benefits that it'll give you. It helps with headaches and everything. It helps reduce aneurysms. It even has a health benefit like Epsom salt just by putting it in your bath. I mean, it does everything. It helps with better circulation. It helps with like moisture displacement in your body. People who have switched over from like iodized salt or regular sea salt to that have noticed less swelling in their extremities. They also get, like people who have Raynaud's disease, which is something I have, which is poor circulation to your outer extremities. It helps a lot with that also. So I can definitely tell you, get it. It works. And I think it has a better taste to it. It's not like that burny, stingy salt. It gives you the flavor, but it has a ton of benefits. I know you will know this, Brian. Pam was wondering how to grill chicken and then plump it and keep it plump and really juicy. Honestly, I would probably bake it with vegetables like zucchini or squash or peppers, onions. A lot of these, and even garlic, because the garlic's going to help. The garlic oil is also good for your blood pressure. If you bake it, like put down like a layer of onion, pepper, and some garlic, and you don't really even need salt at that point to give it flavor. Wrap them up in aluminum foil, kind of like you would if you were going to do like a fish fry in little aluminum packets, and then bake it off that way, and bake it in your oven. That way it holds all the juices in there. You make them the night before, you take them packets, you put them in your oven, bake them, and then put them in your fridge overnight. And what will happen is the chicken will actually reabsorb some of them juices and the flavor that came out of the vegetables. So, just like don't cook them to death, cook them at a slightly lower temperature, like 325 or 350. Don't jack it to 375 or 400 just because you want to get the task done. Don't overcook it. Take it to 165, not 180. That's also a very good point, Courtney. Temperature is definitely another thing. Honestly, if you cook them in the aluminum foil wrap, you can take it to about 157 or 160 and then leave them in that wrap on your counter for probably about a half hour. They will finish cooking up to about 165 to 167, which is still within a good range that you can eat it. Yes, King of the Crease has another one. Cook it slow. Another good thing is you can also use it in different recipes if you wanted to. Like I have it over like a seasoned rice, so that way you can pick up some of the seasoned rice with the chicken to help get rid of some of that bland flavor. There's a lot of things that you can do. A little bit of lemon or a little bit of thyme and rosemary, a little bit of fresh sliced garlic. I mean, there's a lot of things you can do to help it. And chicken is kind of like the protein tofu that's out there. Chicken and fish. But also the fat that you're going to get from the chicken is also fairly healthy for you. That kind of helps. King of the Crease says, I eat grilled chicken at least 3 times a week. There you go. If you want it to be grilled and you think that you want that grilled flavor, have your grill higher. So that way when you rub a little bit of like a good olive oil on it, or if you want to stay away from the cholesterol type oils, I've actually started using grapeseed oil. It's it gives you a little bit of a fruity taste in it. Kind of like you would get from the olive oil, just a little bit different. And then if you throw it on a hot grill and sear the outside, it holds the juices in also. So that's another way of you doing it. Thank you. I'll let Pan listen because I knew I couldn't remember all that. No problem. You guys can just call if you need to. King of the Crease says mix it with some vegetables and penne pasta. Toss it in olive oil and some grated cheese. It's awesome. There you go. Just be careful of the cheese you get because cheese is really high in, some of the cheeses are really high in salt. So, but yeah, King, you're definitely right. King's on it with that one. And once again, if you wanted to, you can use like a, you can make like a white wine sauce if you wanted to. Just reduce down some white wine and mix in a little bit of olive oil or like a grapeseed oil or something like that, or a coconut oil. That coconut oil would be good on the chicken. So, I mean, you can do that too. I've been cooking with coconut oil and like grapeseed oil. Avocado oil is another good one you can cook them with. There's a lot of stuff out there that will definitely help you with the flavor. Gear Runner says, will do. He says, I can only have wheat pasta. Now, I know you're going to want to try and smack me through your phone, Gear, but you can make your own homemade pasta. And honestly, you can make egg noodles with a... I'm guessing that maybe you're you have a wheat allergy, or no? Let me see. I can only have wheat pasta. Is there a reason you can only have wheat pasta? Courtney says nobody has time for making their own pasta. But egg noodles are... well, that makes sense too. I was going to say you could make egg noodles. Egg noodles are really easy. It's seriously, you just mound up a little bit of flour. You put an egg in the middle, whisk it up until, like, with a fork, until it gets really firm. You just roll it out or just chop it in pieces and cook it. I mean, egg noodles are simple. And yes, Barilla pasta does make a good one. And who is the other one? I forgot the name of them. I completely forgot. But yeah, Barilla makes a good wheat one. And then you can also get... Yeah, egg noodles are really... I love egg noodles. I mean, that's my go-to noodle. But another thing that you could get is... As I empty out my cabinet. you can also get these. They're super green, and they're literally made out of what does it say? It's made with spinach, zucchini, broccoli, parsley, and kale. So I don't know if it's made out of if it's wheat pasta or not. But either way, this could be another good alternative to get you away from a lot of the other stuff that's in there, because there's a lot of fillers if you can't get a good wheat pasta. So by the time I'm done the live stream, I'm going to have to refill my cabinets. If you want me to show you how to make egg noodles, I can. I mean, egg noodles are really simple. It's mound up flour like a volcano. You put the eggs in it, you mix it up until it's a dough consistency, and then you cook them. I mean, it's seriously that easy. It's actually really scary how easy it is to make homemade pasta. It's more the lazy factor, though. Right, puppy? So, yeah, Jack, avocado is definitely a good fat. It's like grapeseed oil also helps out a lot. Yeah, guacamole is good, but you got to be careful. A lot of them are high in salt. Unless you make it yourself, guacamole is definitely really high in sodium. Hey, puppy. But if you make a nice fresh guacamole at home, there's virtually no salt in it. Yeah, actually, no more eating out for Gear, really. He's going to need to learn how to cook. We're going to have to do a collaboration on, like, Hangouts or something, me teaching you how to cook something. Yeah, we'll go with something really basic. There I am, I'm back. Yeah, you know, it's like me. I don't eat out because financially I didn't have the chance, you know, when I was really younger. So I just got used to making my meals, and you know, now it's just when I get lazy, we'll order out. Granted, it's been a little bit more often lately because we've been a lot busier. Go. Good boy. But yeah, it's, you know, it'll end up being a necessity. If you have to cook your own stuff, then you do. And that's why normally when I cook dinner, I cook extra so I have enough for lunch the next day or leftovers for dinner. So that way, if I do have something crappy for lunch, I know I still have one good homemade cooked meal every day. So, not to say that my homemade cooked meals are good, I mean, because they're unhealthy as crap, but Jack says that's the hardest part, King of the Crease, giving up fast food place. They are so convenient for us until you have health issues. But you know what? You can still eat at some fast food places. You just got to pick the better ones. Like Subway. Subway's not horrible for you. Go to Salad Works. You know, there's stuff like that out there. Or go to like Ruby Tuesdays or something and get a salad bar. Or, you know, it's out there. You just got to look for it. I mean, granted, it's not going to be the McDonald's or the Burger King or the Chick-fil-A or the Wendy's that's on every corner. But you still have healthy options out there when you go out to eat. True, Jack, the convenience of it is definitely what I'm going to miss. It is, but remember when you were dieting, Gear, and you were having, like, making up like 2 family packs of chicken all in one night? I mean, you can do the same thing. But you can do it with different things. Like, if you make a whole box of pasta, put sauce in one, put, like, chicken, olive oil, and garlic in another one, and then just leave the other one for if you want something different, or like a red meat sauce or whatever. King of the Crease says, yeah, Jack, it's tough. I cut back on fast food by 50%. That's great, King. Fast food really isn't good for you. But like I said, I mean, there's a lot of things I cook that are worse at home. So, you just got to pick what you need. Hardee's offers a low-carb sandwich without the bread wrapped in lettuce instead. Well, that sounds good, but what's the salt content like on that sandwich? And that's another thing. You can, like, wraps. I mean, wraps are good for you. I mean, you can get wheat wraps, you can get gyros, whatever you want to call them. I mean, there is a lot of stuff. When you start to think about it, there is a ton of stuff out there that you can eat that will help you with bringing your blood pressure down. And it's probably all stuff that you love. If you look at a list of like a Mediterranean diet, I'm sure you can pick 80% of that you love, and it's easy to make. Really is. Gear says he has to go back to that. And King says drink more water. Yeah, because that'll help flush off the sodium, which in return, we went over that earlier. Jack says, nice, King of the Crease. Keep up with it, and after a while, it just becomes normal. Yeah, it does. And that's the biggest thing, is making that initial adjustment. I mean, like in this case, let's just say Gear is addicted to fast food. It's like anybody else with an addiction that you have to wean yourself off of it or just go cold turkey and you'll be fine. Richard Gardner says, hello, everyone. Hello, Richard. How are you today? Everyone's saying hi to Richard. King of the Crease says, I lost 20 pounds since September. Congratulations, sir. Great job. Great job. Richard Gardner says, if it is not pure healthy, I will not eat it. Well, there you go. Jack says, awesome, King of the Crease. Hey, Gardner. Nice, King. And that's the thing. There are a lot of, like, you can make homemade pizza. Now, and it's really simple. You can go out and get, like, a pita and just put some, like a little bit of olive oil, garlic, and a little bit of cheese. I mean, and that will help you with the whole I want fast food, and it kind of helps. The biggest problem is setting the time aside to do it all. And that's why fast food is so addicting, is because it's always there. You drive up and you get it. You don't have to wait. The oven don't have to heat up. You don't have to thaw the meat. And, yeah. So. Gear, in this case, I don't think working out more so you can eat bad is the thing. It's not like before when you were trying to drop weight. You work out twice as hard so you can have twice as many bad meals. I don't think it works like that in this situation. Sorry, buddy. You got to stop eating starchy foods. That's another thing. You also have to look at possibility of cholesterol issues. There's all different types of blood pressure meds that you can be on. There could be calcium inhibitors. There's cholesterol inhibitors. There's the list goes on. I think there's like 5 or 6 different groups now. So, and that was the problem I had, is I was on almost every pill, and then there was a different class. Like they have different neuroreceptor, and once you find the right class that works for you, it's great. Oh, well, that's good news, Gear. He says his cholesterol is great. And that's the thing. My cholesterol finally started going up a little bit, but I'm on the high end of normal. And trust me, with all the eggs I eat And that kind of leads me into the next part of the conversation about what Richard Gardner said is egg whites are better for you. I will have to actually disagree with you. There are a lot of studies that are out there. The Huffington Post, the New York Times, all the medical journals, they're all saying that the egg yolks now aren't really the biggest problem. They're saying that what you get from the cholesterol and everything else that you get bad in the eggs, you get tenfold in the other foods you eat, because you don't eat that many eggs compared to these other foods that you eat on a daily basis. So, actually, Cheesecake Factory, I don't know. You can get them Thai lettuce wraps. Them things are pretty good. You just can't have the cheesecake. And that's a good thing. If you go to places like the if you go to places like the Cheesecake Factory and other like higher end fast food places, you go in, you say, I'm on a low salt BP diet, kind of like a Mediterranean diet. They will adjust your meal to meet your diet. So, I'm not saying Lone Star is going to do that, or like Outback. No, they're going to cram you with 3,000 milligrams of sodium because they think that's going to work for you. But I do know that the Cheesecake Factory works very well with people with dietary restrictions. When they thought that I was celiac, they were able to make no carb, and not no carb, but no wheat, anything that was on their menu for me. It was great. There was like 2 or 3 things that I couldn't get on their menu. Gear's really upset and he's crying. Richard says, Quest protein bars are healthy. They are, but I mean, it's like eating a brick. I mean, I'd rather have like a Nature Valley bar that has fruits and a little bit of sweetness to try and get you away from wanting that fast food. Going to listening mode. I have a DPS following me. All right. Be careful, sir. French fries are the problem. Yes. French fries are a problem. Definitely for me. And cheese fries, yeah, all the grease that you get in them and the salt. People really don't understand how much salt there is in, like mozzarella cheese, for instance. I mean, it's made in a salt bath. I mean, Richard Gardner says, I get the veggie burger at the Cheesecake Factory. Actually, I've heard people say that's pretty damn good. King says he's never been to the Cheesecake Factory. I gotta say, you might want to try it. It's a little pricey, but not bad. It has good food there. That would be my go-to if we were going to go out to dinner, just simply because their food is a lot better and a lot cleaner from a lot of other places. Scott, how are you? Richard Gardner says, vegan food is healthy, but then you also don't get all the proteins and the fats that you need to get from the meat. I mean, they do try and compensate, but I mean, you still need the meat, you still need the vegetables, you need it all. You have to have a balanced diet as far as I'm concerned. My wife has a gluten allergy and I can only have wheat stuff. Well, see, that kind of sucks, but I know exactly where Pam is with that, because I was diagnosed with celiac and I want complete grain-free. It really wasn't that hard because I don't eat a lot of carbs to start with. So, but I understand. It sucks. It really does. Gear says, hey Scott, King of the Crease says, I also cut back on red meat for the last 6 months. That will help too. Red meat is good for you, but like everything else, in moderation. Pork, not good. I can't eat pork no more. My body rejects it. So, and that's just as I got older. Richard says carbs are not good for you. Once again, everything's healthy in moderation. You need to have everything to have a well-rounded diet, but you can't get hung up on one thing or another. And that's what ends up happening. People find stuff they like, and they just eat a lot of stuff in that category, And then if they have to change their diet, it's really hard because they eat a bunch of things kind of like in the same genre almost of food. Which would be horrible for me because I eat basically meat, potato, meat, cheese fries, cheese fries, cheese fries. So, it kind of sucks. Scott says, hello, Andy. Courtney says, I was miserable. Gear says, Pam loves bread and carbs. See, I don't. I'm not a fan of that. But you know what? Me and a girl that I work with, she's on here occasionally. Occasionally. Oh my God. I'm having a stroke. Occasionally. OMG Stacy. Actually, it was her dad that gave me the deer meat that I had for breakfast and dinner. So, but me and her were discussing how women are very prone to just liking carbs. Men would be happy with a potato, a steak, or something like that. Women, it seems like they're more prone to wanting to eat carbs or enjoying carbs more than what males do. Gear Runner says, I do, Gardner, I do. You have a skinny, healthy wife. She's definitely skinny. A lot skinnier than me, I can tell you that. King of the Crease says, stop eating pigeon, Richard. Yeah, they're in New York. I mean, they crap all over the place. But you see, King, he doesn't eat pigeon. He eats squab. Yes, that's his way around it. Gear says, LOL. And Richard Gardner says, I will take sweet potatoes. You know what? Another healthy option. And also good, a little bit sweeter. Help you with that sweet tooth to try and get you away from some of the other stuff. So I have a little bit of well, not an unboxing, but something that I want to show you guys. I was seeing this on my Instagram feed a lot. And now that Courtney has a leather interior and I have leather and suede interior, yeah, I need something for when we take the dog out. So, you guys probably seen it on yours too. It's called Treat Your Dog. And basically what I did was just rip the crap out of this. So, I don't know. If you guys can see, it's basically like a cover that goes over your headrests in the back, goes down, and goes over your headrest in the front, so that you don't have, your dog footprints and all that stuff. And it's made out of a waterproof material. And this one's 54 by 58. So, I mean, it is a little bit padded. And I'm not going to completely unwrap it, but you have these buckles that go around the headrests. So that way you can take it, lay it out, put your cat's, dog, iguana, whatever you take around in your car, and you can put them in the back seat. And the other good thing is, I don't know if you can see, but right up here in the front, it goes down the whole front. So that way it kind of stops them from trying to jump into the front seat. So, and it looks like it's pretty good. It has some nice heavy stitching on there. Yeah, and it's kind of quilted. It's pretty nice. And it wasn't really that expensive. They're actually running a sale right now. I mean, I am in no way being sponsored by them, but for the price, it seemed like, hey, why not? And when I got it, I was kind of surprised. I was expecting, just kind of like a nylon thing, but it's a little bit heavier than just nylon. So, Richard says, I eat chicken, turkey, and fruit and vegetables, and peanut butter and dairy-free food all the time. Well, there you go. Now, is that because of an allergy, Richard? I can only have natural peanut butter. Yuck. You know what? When I had peanut butter, I actually kind of like the natural ones better. It seems like they have more of the oil that I like out of it. Which is another thing. You can also cook with peanut oil. That's another thing. It's a high temperature oil, so that would be good. So I really like this. I'm going to be doing an install video of it as soon as I get good weather here. I had this huge plan. Sorry, you guys probably can't hear me. Let me put this crap down. Let me get my chair back. I had plans on doing this got a new truck. I'm going to do a review of my truck, like a 1-week review, how I still like it and everything. I seen that it was like a 20% chance of rain for this weekend. I'm like, I'm going to go out, I'm going to do it. It's going to be a beautiful day. We were looking at mid-60s today. It felt wonderful out. Rained all weekend. Sorry about that. I'm back on my 5 to 5 schedule again. So, since I'm working all these hours, I'm in before the sun comes up and I'm home after it goes down. It's kind of hard to shoot a review video on a truck in the dark. Especially on my street. I don't want to try it. So I had this whole plan. There's a nice lake near us. I was going to go down there, get some nice, candid shots near the lake. And there's like some little hills there. I was going to do the whole thing. Rained all day. Didn't happen. So I'm going to be, hopefully next Friday, I'm thinking about taking off next Friday. Courtney don't know that yet, but now she does, because she's right there. So I have like 4 or 5 videos lined up that I want to shoot. I just can't do it because of the weather. So I'll be back. I promise. Oh, almond butter. That will work. So, that will work well with Bailey. Yeah, Bailey likes peanut butter. We actually have his own jar and it has his initial on the top of it because he eats a lot of it. Almond butter is good. Yeah. Richard Gardner says, I can't have pistachios because I am allergic to them. Oh, sorry to hear that. I love them. Mr. Roten, how are you, sir? I'm glad you could make it. How is everyone else? Gear says, it was 70 here today. We got out and walked around to get some exercise. And it doesn't really take much. I mean, if you normally come home, sit down, just get up and walk. It doesn't really take much to get more exercise than what you're already doing. Park in the street and walk an extra 20 steps every time you go to your car. Something like that. Little things. Park in the back of the parking lot when you go to work. Something. Hey, Mike, how are you? Mike says, how you feeling, Gear? Gear Runner says, it's very hard to do videos this time of year. It is. It really is. And my problem is we've been getting so much rain, the ground is saturated. I can't even go out to my shop right now because my yard is flooding over and I can't run the extension cord through, like a small stream. It's not safe. So I can't even get out in my shop. I haven't been able to get out there for a couple weeks. Courtney says, me no likey sweet potatoes. Mr. Gardner says he exercises 7 days a week. Impressive. Mike Roten says, K-Dog? Courtney says, oh, really? Yeah, I might be taking off on Friday. That'll be in next week's paycheck, so all the overtime I've worked so far is fine. Gear Runner says, better than I was, Mike. Thanks for asking. Scott says, having a big baked potato for supper and chicken as well. There you go. What do you put on your baked potato, Scott? Because I'm just like, I like butter and actually cracked pepper and chives. Mike Roten says, good, Gear, good, good. Gear's giving a thumbs up. Richard Gardner says, let me see. Richard Gardner says, Gear, now it's 54 degrees right now. Gear says he'll be running tomorrow. Mike says, sorry I was late. I had a bunch of work for tomorrow stuff to do. Don't worry about it, sir. If you can make it, you can make it. If not, world will not end. My live stream eventually will end, but not the world. Courtney says, hi to Mike. Mike Roten says, if you see me running, you better take off. There's something bad chasing me. There you go. But just remember, Mike, if you're running, people just have to run faster than you. They don't have to run really fast, just faster than you. So make sure there's a slow person in the group. You got to give yourself a chance. Oh, make sure that you get out in front of the slow person first. Gear Runner says, LOL, Mike. I'll keep that in mind. Richard Gardner says, I'm going to make Courtney eat pigeon pie and will not tell her it is pigeon pie. LOL. Well, guess what, Richard? She grew up on a farm, so I'm sure she can probably tell you it's a little bit gamier than any chicken she's ever had. Mike says, I'm 50. Everyone runs faster than me. Not me. I don't run. I'm a firm believer in there's always an equalizer, unless it's somebody coming at me with a gun. If they're coming at me with a stick, I'm sure I can find a bigger stick. I don't run. I mean, if you want to get me that bad, here I am. Courtney says, yes, I know chicken and non-chicken. There you go. But Courtney, pigeon is mostly dark meat, so that might work for you. I usually run a mile in about 7 minutes. Yeah, I don't run a mile, so I can't tell you how fast it would be. And not to mention, I wouldn't want to run a mile in my town anyway. Courtney says she's sure she would like it. I got to go to Victoria's Secret to get me the same Christmas stocking that Gear Runner's wife has. Well, who's that for? Is that for you or... Mike Roten says, no chicken, explain. Non-chicken, explain. That would be like pigeon, quail, pheasant. She can tell the difference between them. Renaissance Man, welcome, sir. How are you? Hey, guys, I have a big stick. I named it the Gardener. Well, there you go. Courtney says, this dog is driving me nuts. Well, thank you very much for keeping him up there. We all thank you. Mike says, Rennie. And Gear says, LOL Gardener. Hey, Rennie says, Mr. Runner. I'm watching the Victoria's Secret Fashions on ABC right now. Are you watching them with anybody else? Because if so, that could be a little bit awkward. Renaissance Man says, LOL Gear. Mr. Runner. Richard Gardner says, Edge, it is for me. Well, there you go. We need to see a picture on Instagram of that. Courtney says, Mike, game that is not chicken. Well, there you go. That makes it easy. Anything with wings that isn't chicken, I guess. Richard Gardner says, hello, Renaissance Man. Renaissance says, hello to Gardner. Gear Runner says, the Packers just fired their coach. Wow, they sent him packing. All right. So, guys, do you guys have Christmas plans? Anyone traveling? What's going on? Anything going on? Mike Roten says, saw that Gear. Hard to believe. Richard says, I have the Renaissance Man 887 toy now. Gear Runner says, I know Mike. Dan the Mopar Man, how you doing, sir? Hey guys, hey Brian, how is the truck treating you? Dan, that truck is awesome. I love that thing. I really do. If you follow me on Instagram, you see that I park way out in the back and I take up, if I could, I'd take up 6 spots, but I think that would be a little bit more obnoxious than 4. Mike says, hey Dan, Renaissance says, wait, they put Victoria's Secret on basic TV at 7 p.m.? I can't say. Ball bag. All right. Gear Runner says, just going to the mom's. That's about it. Oh, that's good. I mean, just hanging out with family isn't bad. Gear says, hey to Dan. Courtney says, you need to name your truck. What's the name of your car? Dan says, hey Mike, a good runner, you haven't touched any more Fords of you. LOL. Edge. I would watch the show with Gear Runner. LOL. We'll see. Yeah, that would make sense. Courtney named her car Subistar. Alrighty. Maybe because she likes the Celestials. Gear Runner says, I was going to name mine Slow Me, but then I realized we already had that one of them, Courtney. So yeah, there's 1 Slow Me, 2 Slow Me's. Now, Gear, I got a question. You have a Crew Max, right? So have you noticed that, except for the fact that you have, 35-inch tires on it and offsets and all that stuff, have you noticed that you don't really have that great acceleration when you're at higher speeds in the Crew Max? I'm coming over to pull all your houses. I'm great to have over. I gloss over the family's awkwardness and just provide entertainment. I don't even eat that much. I don't even need a present. I don't have family over for holidays, so sorry, I can't use your services, Rennie. Dan says, hey Andy, how's the health? Richard Gardner says, Courtney's car is #Gear Turkey. Courtney says, very creative, Mike. So I noticed, now mind you, since I had double cabs before, compared to the Crew Max like this one is, I have realized that the acceleration, over 50 is definitely a lot less. But then again, the truck is also 1,500 pounds heavier. So, never really drove a stock Tundra much, so don't have a lot to compare it to. But it seems the pickup is pretty good. Oh no, don't get me wrong, the pickup is good, but it wasn't anything, it wasn't all that great compared to my double cab. Like my double cab, you would get on the gas at 50 and you would watch it just climb. This one, it's kind of like you're driving a luxury truck. It has 430 gear in it and everything with the 5.7, but it just doesn't seem like it has the balls that my 2 double cabs did. Even my POS double cab. And that was one, I didn't exactly want a Crew Max, but that's the only way I can get a 1794. So, you got to pick your battles, right? It never ends well, but then it never begins well when the family is over. Very true. Very, very true. Your runner says, I'm feeling a lot better, Dan. Yes, he is. The only Slow Me is Gear's truck, LOL. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. You may not need my services, but there are many out there that do. There's a very, very large number of people that would need them kind of services. I promise. Either that or it'd be a fake family member with some kind of injury to get them out of the dinner or something. Yeah, I could see you doing that too. Richard says, I got Renaissance Man's 887 for 2 cents for a Christmas present. LOL. Dan, that's good gear. Mike says, yeah, I always thought Christmas Vacation was a documentary. I'm pretty damn close, yeah. Gear agrees with Mike. Renaissance Man says, Gardner, I just picked up one with a kit. Always take donations, though. Courtney says, Brian, are you trying to get a new truck already? No, my name is not Rob. I will be keeping this truck until it dies or I die. Either one. Both of which, there's no expected date. Richard Gardner says, Renaissance Man, I am going to send you the leg lamp. LOL. Well, see, guys? This is funny because I have the leg lamp that swings back and forth. Unfortunately, there we go. If you don't hold it straight, there we go. Yeah, so I love the movie. I really do. New Tundra mod video drops tomorrow. I've been looking for this mod for a long time now. There you go. Renaissance Man says, Roten, always one of my favorite holiday movies. That and Die Hard. I don't see how that ended up being a Christmas movie. And I'm really starting to think next Friday, or like Friday after next, is going to be the same way because of the Ghetto Santa Claus or whatever it is. Mike says, is that one with Clint Eastwood, Rennie? Dan the Mopar Man says, you heard it, guys, from Brian. Tundras are slow. LOL. Oh, no, they're not slow by any means. You have a 7,000-pound truck that still does a 6.30 to 60 and 114 mile per hour quarter mile in 13 seconds. That's not slow by any means. I'll put it up against your G6. How's that sound? Richard Gardner says, Gear Runner, I am getting my brother the sexy Deadpool pop for Christmas. There you go. I think Gear would be a fan of that. Yep, he is. He says that's awesome, Gardner. LOL, that leg. Yes, it's like electric sex in the window. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Gear Runner says, that's cool, Brian. I love that movie also. Yeah, me too. I don't know where my cup got to, but as you can see, I got all my little stickum things on the microwave. I love it. Mike Roten says, Renaissance says to Roten, bite your tongue. Mike says, supercharger gear? Nope, Mike. I'm too poor for that, LOL. Dan says, oh God, Brian got the leg lamp. I do, sir. I do. Richard Gardner says, Gear Runner, you got to see Venom. It comes out next month in 4K. It's awesome. That is the same reason any Die Hard movie is an Xmas movie. It's because it's Xmas, like Friday After Next. Well, there you go. Scrooge, the best Christmas movie ever, says Mike. Dan the Mopar Man says, then again, Brian's truck is faster than Gear's. LOL. Honestly, it might be a little bit faster just because he has them huge tires he's trying to turn. But once he gets the momentum going, he might take me. Brian, if you race my Pontiac would blow up. After all, it is a GM vehicle. You have a very good point there, Dan. Renaissance Man says, I was just joking. Die Hard isn't a Christmas movie. It just takes place during Christmas. Bruce Willis said so himself. Well, there you go. Gear Runner says, I definitely want to see Venom, Garner. You know what? It does. I think I might even want to see that one too. Richard says, I will post a pic of Hanky the Christmas Pooh Christmas ornament I have on IG. And then Dan says, stupid spell check. Yes. I'll be right back. I want to show you guys one other thing that I was going to do a review on. And here you go. These are my subcompacts. And as you can see, these things are actually really, really small. I mean, let me see if I can show you the size here. This is a wonton soup cup. I mean, they are small. And they have really decent power. And I love this one. It actually, if you guys can see that red light that's on, it gradually winds up. It slowly spins up. And then once like whatever bolt you put in gets tighter, it gradually increases the impact. So I really like it. And they're quiet too. And then you know, I also have the drill. This was thanks to Tool Boss. I was looking to get into another line, and then when he put the Makitas up for $150, I'm like, I got to go get them. So I really like them, and the lights are nice and bright too. And they're very comfortable. Rennie, I got them probably about a month ago. It was right when Tool Boss came out when Makita just started clearancing out their stuff at Home Depot. Yeah, it was probably about a month ago. I do like them. They're very comfortable. The one thing that I think I love the best about it is if you look right here, there's like hardly any extra stuff, and it's comfortable. You know, and I love how it has that tapered handle. It almost feels like a Milwaukee, but smaller. And I mean, they're really thin too. I mean, this is a bottle of super glue. I mean, it's seriously almost the width of a bottle of big super glue. So they are really, I like them. But even though I still use all my DeWalt, and that's another thing, is the DeWalts lock into them. So I can continue to use my DeWalt stuff that I have on my Impact. So I really do like them. And they're light. If Courtney needed to use anything, she could even use it. Let me get back to where I was. Gear's truck is jacked up a mile high, so of course it's going to be slow. That's kind of true. Gear Runner says he's gone. Yep, I took a break. Renaissance Man says, Gardner, you get that girl's number? Her hair seemed excited to see you. Mike says, Makita? They actually work rather well. Like this one, I've used it, and to put in like a 4 or a 5-inch wood screw, I mean, it doesn't bog down or anything. It works great. And the drill, I haven't had any problems with the chuck wobbling or anything like my Ryobi does, so that's good too. Yeah, what do you mean, Gear? They're both black. Gear says they don't look anything like his subcompacts. Actually they do. They're black with a couple little shiny bits on them. Jack says, I'm back. Hey Jack. Hey Jack. Welcome back, Jack. Edge, you just get them? Yeah, I got them about a month ago. I kind of like them. And the charger charges very fast too, I might say. Now, mind you, they only have the little 2 amp hour subcompact batteries, but if you look at the Ryobis, I mean, just look at the size comparison of these things. I mean, it's ridiculous. Then you have that thing sticking up, and this is, I think, a 1.3 or This is a 1.5 amp hour battery. And this is the original, when they first came out with their lithium line. This was the original, I think, 2 amp hour or 2.3 amp hour. And these are basically the same battery. Is that ridiculous or what? I mean, how can you compete with that? So, I mean, I like them. They're a lot more comfortable than the Ryobi. It doesn't have a bunch of filler in it. Gear Runner says, you know it, Gardner. Hey, Jack says, Renaissance Man. Hey, Mike, Dan, and Rennie. Okay, 1 square done. Good job, Court. Dan the Mopar Man says, Gear, can you even fit into a subcompact? Actually, he can. He had a Z3, I believe it was, and a 350 or a 370Z? 350Z. Gear says, yes, I can. I'm very bendy. Just call me Gumby. Richard Gardner says, Renaissance. He got them to replace his Ryobi. I did. I don't know how you can fit into a subcompact, Andy, not Candy, unless you're a little sweet on him. You're about the same height as me, and I'm 6'4". Well, yeah, that's about right. Mike said, and somewhere a gardener sheds a tear. He does. I like the all black. It color coordinates with my heart. There you go, Rennie. Rennie, have you actually used these, though? Have you tried them? Because these things are really comfortable to use. And actually something that Gear would like about this is you can really get up on, you know, the bore axis. So I had to get that in there for you, Gear. Your hand sits a lot higher on it and it's comfortable. It doesn't seem as strenuous, like you're really, you know, you're pushing straight in. It doesn't feel like you're trying to stop it from tilting in. It's just a straight push. They're very comfortable for me. Dan the Mopar Man says, you know what would be funny? Seeing King of the Crease trying to fit into a subcompact. LOL. No, that would not be funny. I just got a notification that you just posted an Instagram post. Me? I don't like Ryobi brushless hammer that much as I do the M12. Now, mind you, Makita is... It's not bad, but it's also... It's not the best one out there. And I'm not saying Milwaukee's better or DeWalt's better by any means, but it's not as good as them. But they fit my needs. They fit my needs. They fit the size of my shop. And they're comfortable. And they work. That's all I can ask. Mike, haha. IG just notified me. You posted a pic, Brian. Well, somebody let me know what it is. Dan the Mopar Man. Richard is, it's a Ryobi enough, said. Yep. Dan the Mopar Man. King drives a smart car. See, now, I would just like to see... I would like to see King standing next to a smart car or a Mini or a Fiat. Because, I mean... And it's not to be mean, King, but... You're a big boy. I mean, you make your GMC look normal size. I mean, you're what, like 6'5", 6'6"? You are tall. And I think Minis are only like 4.5 feet to the roof. It's ridiculous. Renaissance Man says, what? King of the Crease in a smart car? Oh, God. I might actually pay money to see that. Hey, King, maybe we'll go up to a CarMax and we'll do test drives and we'll put you in all the smallest cars possible. Richard Gardner says, Renaissance Man, drive a DeWalt truck made in America with global materials. Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, that's every car, isn't it? Regardless of where it's made. Mahomes got me 44 points and I win my fantasy football game this week. Well, congrats, sir. Courtney says she's sewing, Jack. Awesome gear. They were some weird games today. Didn't watch one of them. Then again, I probably never would. Renaissance Man says he had to cut a hole in the roof. He doesn't drive in the rain. He could drown, he says. Courtney's making a baby. Oh, wait. Making a baby blanket for her best friend. Richard Gardner says Makita has 4.0 batteries. Yeah, they have, I think they have a 9. And actually, it might even be higher than that. But, I mean, I don't really need that. I do a lot of, like, here and there. If I do use it in my shop, it would be to put, like, a shelving system together or putting together something that I made. And, 50 screws? The only thing I needed to do was drill right. And, be comfortable. It's not nice to call her a baby if she's your friend, Courtney. Very true. Rennie, LMAO. LMAO. King of the Crease. Poor King of the Crease. That's awfully sweet of you, Courtney. Making a baby blanket for your best friend. I think this is number 2. Jack says, nice, Courtney. Less recoil the higher you are on the bore axis. LOL. Very true, sir. I mean, it's very stable. I mean, you can shoot this thing all day with no flip at all. Edge, haven't run them. I have held them. Don't worry. I got a consent from #MeToo. Now, how did you like the feel of them though, Ren? I mean, I think they feel comfortable. Even though I have it compared to the drill, my hand is almost the size of the drill, but it still fits in there comfortable. And the Ryobi, it didn't. It felt the handle was just way too big, and yeah, they were clunky. Edge still has his Ryobi for shame. For shame, Brian, you need to get rid of it, the Ryobi. LOL. Honestly, I'll get rid of them when they die. So, but I knew they were going to die soon. My Ryobi has horrible chuck wobble on them. The old hammer drills that Ryobi used to make used to have Jacobs chucks in them. Now they have crap. Mike Roten says, I heard you were a closet Makita user, Rennie. Richard Renaissance was sitting in a pool of his own tears when his 887 let him down. But you know what? That's the thing. They're all going to let you down. I don't care what you have. If you have a Mafel, a Festool, if you have Triton, Ridgid, Makita, Milwaukee, Ryobi, DeWalt, they're all going to let you down. At some point, your tool will let you down, regardless of how superior anyone thinks it is. It's going to let you down. I mean, it's mechanical. It's just going to happen. Where are the Makitas made? I really don't know. Oh, China. Made in China. Now that's funny, Rennie. Mike, I finally bought the drywall saw. No one else has it. Damn, spell check. I know what you were getting at there, Candy. Gear Runner says he will fit in King Edition. Yeah, he would fit in my truck. My truck, oh my God, the room in my truck is ridiculous. And Gear, you understand what I mean. There is just way too much room in that truck. It's completely unnecessary. I mean, it's seriously more room than being in a Lincoln town car. It is. It's ridiculous. Are they Japan? Gotta say, Rennie, that saw looks cool. Renaissance Man says, at Mike, the thing works great. No dust cutting rock. That's impressive. 1 second here. Let me ding. Okay, well, thanks, Gear. Renaissance Man says, Mike, the saw is Japan. Yeah, but Makita has always been Japan. You know what? I'm not actually a fan of really any tool company. Ryobi was in my price range, and honestly, if I could get Milwaukee for the price that these were, I would have. You couldn't. Unless they were tool only. I'm going to lend it to Vin so he can do a video on something besides heated red China jacket. There you go. Mike Roten says, LOL, do you guys mean Japanese? Yes, they do. Mike, I've been hearing that they are manufacturing more in China. They are, sir. I think their whole subcompact line is in China. Some of their other ones are, well, let's see. They have Japan and made in China. So they're like TM, Japan, but made in China. So, is what it is, you know. Hey guys, you're not going to believe what happened this morning. I woke up and some white stuff was falling on the ground, and I believe they call it snow. LOL. Run, Dan, run. Get away from it. Get as far away from it. We call it suck flakes down here, Dan. Well, yeah, that means that you can't work. Wow, Gear. Wow. Just wow. For some reason, I can't, on my phone, I can't do anything. Mike Roten says, LOL, Gear. LOL. LOL. Richard says, I have only had my Ryobi brushless hammer for a year and the chuck already wobbles on it. Yeah, mine too, and I don't even use it a lot. Renaissance Man says, at rear, I'm glad you said it. I didn't want to get timed out. Well, see, here's the problem. I can't even click on my own people to do anything because my phone just wants to keep trying to refocus. Dan the Mopar Man says, oh, don't worry, Gear and Mike. I don't go nowhere near the snow. Right now, the stuff is evil, evil, evil. Especially in your G6, you won't be able to get anywhere. Renaissance Man says, I know, well played, Rear. My tool is you. Please don't let me down. Huh? Okay. Yeah, it doesn't matter what tool you use as long as it does what you need. Exactly. You know, and people gave me a lot of crap, but, you know, I could buy a cheap Ryobi and it would last me forever. I will honestly say a lot of the newer tools are garbage. I had one of the old black and blue Ryobi hammer drills. Lasted me forever. If the chuck didn't slip, I would have never bought my other one. And then bought my other one. I had the other one for like, what was it? Like 7 years. And then I went through one a year of the other ones. It's ridiculous. Gear says you can't have too much room, but it's funny. There is just so much room in them trucks. And if you put the seats up, you can literally like jump up and run through your truck. You know, just duck and you can run through your truck. I like them, Edge. Was looking at the way to get some Makita batteries. The drywall saw was tool only. Depot was unloading Makita kits cheap. They were, and it's funny. When I went to get it, the guy's like, oh, yeah, we don't have them. Because I showed him a screenshot of Toolboss's post on Instagram. And I'm like, I want these. And they're like, oh, we're all out of them. They were on the back end cap. And I said, so what's that third box up over there? And he's like, that's not it. I'm like, go look. I zoomed in with my phone. It's it. Go get it. And I won it for this price. Anyone up there? He's like, oh, look, there's another one. I'm like, yeah, tell the employees they can't get them now. Joseph says, okay, later. See you, Mr. Baker. Have a nice night. Richard says, my Ryobi brushless drill driver has a Jacobs chuck and it still is a little wobbly. So I haven't went back to using I have went back to using my Gen 5X brushless drill driver again. Well, that's good. At least you have a backup. And that's kind of what my Ryobi is going to be for these. These are going to be my primary, and my Ryobi will be a backup. So I think it'll be fine. Have a good night, Mr. Baker. See you, Joseph. Everybody saying goodbye. See, Mike, some stuff is made in China from Makita. Yeah, yeah, it's if you can see it right there at the very bottom of the writing. I know it's probably backwards. Right there, made in China. So, but honestly, at this point, if you only want to buy U.S. stuff, you're not going to buy anything, honestly. Renaissance has a Chinese tool now. He does. He does. Powermatic is my tool weapon of choice. Hey, Tundra Whisperer, how you doing? Welcome back. Nice to see you. And yes, guys, you can actually say hi to TW. He's here now. Yeah, and I fully agree. But Powermatics will not last you forever. They will last you a damn long time. But you will still have issues. I mean, bearings go, you know, guides. I mean, everything needs an adjustment. Everything needs to be fixed at some point. Mike Roten says, wow, everything is China now. Basically, Mike says, TW. It really is, Mike. And the funny thing is, Toyota took their Japanese truck and made it in the U.S. It's weird. Which, by the way, I will have some... I'll have a little bit of history on that that plant where they make the Tundras and Tacomas. Because there's actually some history that is directly related to my truck. Gear says, hey, TW. Gardner was made in a massage parlor in China. That might have been Chinatown. Richard Gardner says, Bosch is made in Malaysia. All right. Thunder Whisperer says, Dan, that was just the leftover blow you didn't finish from the night before. Wow. Dyson vacuums are made in Malaysia and used to be made in the UK where James Dyson is from. Yeah, I remembered that they switched over, and I didn't understand why. Mike Roten says, LOLTW. Oops, Brian's phone is not working. Sorry, Mike. I accidentally took off your message instead of mine. I got mine also, though. LOL. Mike Roten says, LOL. That's right, TW, says Dan. Hey, all. How's it going? It's going good. How you doing, TW? You doing all right? Living it up out there? Everyone safe out there? Everyone doing good? Hey, Tundra Whisperer. You do know that the stuff you gave me, right? I had to get rid of somehow. LOL. Let's try not and put direct words up there if you're going to. And I'm back. Well, I'm really far behind, aren't I? It's sad to say most of the new stuff is being made as throwaway. It really is, Ren. It really is. Hello, TW. TW says 99% pure stuff. LOL. I am made in Scotland and Renaissance is made in Bangkok. At Gardner. Haha. Got me on that one. Boom. Gardner for the win. Gardner got one in there. No, it wasn't Tundra Whisperer. More like 50%. You cheapo. LOL. Is Scotland located in the back alley in Chinatown, Gardner? Roten. Never lost. Tundra Whisperer. It was made in my mom's womb. All right. No Renaissance Man says Richard. And the Mopar Man says, yes, it is, Rennie. Didn't you know that Scotland is a subdivision of Chinatown? Yes. And every state has a Chinatown. It's kind of funny. Richard Gardner says, hi, TW. No Tundra womb. Is the question I was asked when the hospital wanted to know my father. Tundra Whisperer. Oh, I agree. It all needs tool maintenance. Things wear out. They do. And that's the thing. But nowadays, it's not that they're wearing out. They're breaking. You know, a lot of them are just becoming not fixable. Or like Rennie said, they're being disposable. Which, I mean, back in the day, if you got a Black & Decker or something like that, you were able to buy parts for it. I mean, unless you have a skill saw or like a Sasquatch or something like that, you're not buying parts for anything. You're buying accessories. You're not buying parts. So, I mean, or like worm drives. Yeah, you can get some things for a worm drive, but not much. And most of that stuff is maintenance stuff. The rubber on my M18 9.0 battery is coming off, so just rip it off. You don't need it. Dan the Mopar Man says, TW, that explains. I want a refund, TW, or the pure stuff. Hey, Renaissance Man and TW, says Brandon. Brando, hey, Brandon. Gardner should curate a vacuum museum. He should. I think he would do a good job. Womb. Sorry. Yo, Brando. Hi, Brando. It would suck. It would suck. Hey, Richard Gardner. Roten, you think? Do you think, buddy? Edge, I am keeping my head out of the gutter just for you and Courtney so you guys don't kill me. I wouldn't kill you. Might not be welcome back, but I wouldn't kill you. Renaissance Man says, at Tundra, that was gold. Womb is the father. Come on. Yeah, he'll be here all night. Don't forget to tip your waitress. There you go. Mike Roten says, I remember as a kid, we took our TV to a repairman. Now I bet you can't even find a TV repairman. No. And it's kind of like a chainsaw. Your chainsaw breaks. Unless you have a really high-end chainsaw, you're throwing it away. And lawnmowers. I mean, they're expensive as crap, but they're still disposable. Rob Yoda, how you doing, sir? He says, yellow all. Good afternoon. How you doing out there, sir? Everything still just peachy? Mike Roten says hello to Yoda. At least it was not made by Harbor Freight. Well, hey, I have to say Harbor Freight does have some good stuff. Not Harbor Freight stuff. Like Pittsburgh hand tools aren't that bad. You know, probably wouldn't buy their compressors. And if so, swap the motor. Brendan says the repairman is the salesperson at the store. The fix is buy a new one. Yes, either that or claim warranty. Renaissance Man says Rob Yoda. Let's see, where are we? Hey, Rob Yoda. Yup, Brandon. Hello, Rennie says TW. And hey, Brandon. Hello, Mike, Ren, Gear, all. How's everyone doing? Richard Gardner says, Edge, that is why brushless is better to buy. Why is it better? I can honestly tell you that brushless, at least you can replace the brushes. If you get brushless, it's crap once you break it. You're done. You got to buy a new one. But you're right. Where are you going to get the brushes from? Brendan says, hey, Rob. Renaissance Man says, my neighbor used to be a TV repairman. Man, I'm old. Yeah, we're about the same age, aren't we, Ren? Richard says, Bridget has LSA warranty that works sometimes. Yeah. They all have warranties until they figure out a way to get out of it. My neighbor owned a TV, Rennie. I know how you feel. Dan the Mopar Man says, hey, TW, they found out our secret. I got to break off our business relationship. They cannot find out. LMAO. LMAO. LOL. LOL. You are old, Rand. The Renaissance was hundreds of years ago. Yeah, it was. I'm surprised he lasted this long. Renaissance Man is my naughty boy. That's kind of awkward there, Richard. Mike Roten says, LOL Gardner. Renaissance Man says, Renaissance Tools is releasing a rotary cell phone in time for the holidays. Send straight cash, homie. Now, do you have to... I mean, how do you charge that? Just saying. Everything is peachy. We finally got rain. That's good to hear. How are the fires doing out there? Dan the Mopar Man. I second that, Richard. Renaissance Man is a naughty boy. Let his girlfriend punish him. And wait, does he have a girlfriend? No, he doesn't. Mike Roten says, seafood place near me still has a payphone. Oh, man. But does it work? Is it a working payphone? Richard Gardner, it was going to cost me $500 in warranty for my Samsung 4K 3D 65-inch TV, and I told them no on the warranty. Well, I hope your TV don't break. You know, like that little chip that's in there, or the little motherboard that allows you to turn up the volume or turn it down when it spikes. Yeah. No homeowner, Gardner. That comment gave me chills. But he meant to say no homo. Because I think he owns a home. Rob Yoda says, I remember before rotary phones, you had call boxes at the end of the block. Yeah. Yeah, you do. And then even later, wait a second, call boxes were the ones for the fire department, right? It's like, oh no, I have a fire. And you go to the little red box, you pick it up. Yeah, this is my address. And then they, wee. Yeah. Dan the Mopar Man says, what's a rotary phone and what's a payphone? I've never heard of these things. It's going to take a while to explain that one. Renaissance Man says, and Mopar, one upped it. Yeah. One for you, Renaissance Man. Only for you, says Dan. Rob Yoda says, doesn't anyone remember picking up the phone and talking to the operator to place a call? No, I don't remember that, but I do remember not having really area codes. I remember that when I was younger, there was only like 8 or 9 area codes that I would area codes, right? Yeah. That I would ever have to dial. And like now your cell phone, for me, I have to dial 609 to call 609. It's like, what? Why? But back then, I remember we only had 2 extensions. They were 386 and 387. Now it's 386, 387, 239, and then all the cell ones. And yeah, it's ridiculous. Mike Roten says he remembers. I'm going to all call you collect for Christmas. I don't think they allow that on my cell phone. Every call you made is collect now, Rennie. There you go. I use Harbor Freight tools for the price. You can't beat it, especially if you get it on sale. Oh yeah, get an open box garage sale with a coupon. You can like get a floor jack for like $9. So I mean, if it breaks after you use it 4 times, it was worth it. You would have paid your mechanic more than $9, I'm sure. Rob Yoda, how was it walking to Earth with the dinosaurs? Okay, Renaissance Man, go for it. If you don't know a number, just block it anyway. LOL. Gear Runner, I remember the party lines when You had to see if anyone else was on the phone line before you could make a call, and then anyone could just pick up on the other line and listen into your conversation. Yes. I remember when three-way calling was this big thing. You're like, oh yeah, let's call this person. And then, at that point we were younger and you could never get it right. And then they charged you like per three-way. It was bad. Real bad. Richard Gardner says, my Star Wars HP laptop breaks on me. My brother will just fix it and make it work again. Well, that's nice to be able to have a brother that can do that. Now I'm curious about the phone. Sounds like seafood night is this week. There you go. I mean, we've seen a lot of phone booths, but they didn't have the receiver for them. It's like they came by and took them off. Richard Gardner says, Renaissance Man, it's not a ladies' man like I am. He is not. Dan the Mopar Man says, hey, Rob Yoda. How were the dinosaurs back then? LOL. Give Ron a call from the seafood place. Now that would be funny. But he can't have all you can eat shrimp. He gets kicked out for that. Mike Roten says, LOL, Dan, that's right, Richard. You are such a stud. Alrighty. Gear Runner says, keep us posted, Mike. Also, what's the price you have to pay now to make a call? Way too expensive. Renaissance Man says, I don't swing that way. But I'm not going to say it. Rob Yoda says, collect calls. LOL. Here's 2 quarters. Call somebody that cares. Yep. Nowadays, you probably have to rub them together because you're not going to get anything else out of it. Unfortunately, the fires are still going, says Rob. Oh, sorry to hear that, sir. Are they at least trying? I know they're trying to contain them, but is it a little bit more containable now that they now that it rained a little bit? It at least knocked a lot of the pollution out of the air for you, as I'm guessing. Gear Runner says, oh, okay. Tundra Whisperer says, yes, Gear, let me get back to where I was because it crashed on me again. A party line out in the rural area that she lived in. Wow, that sounds fun. Richard Gardner says, I remember the flip phone and the see-through phone. Well, I used to have like a doctor's pager because that was like the first one that came out. Then you had the Sky pagers, and then you had the Nextel that you could chirp people, which I thought was completely annoying. And then I had the glow-in-the-dark beeper that would like light up, and yeah. Oh, Gardner, look up Wingman. Look up The Wingman. Either that or go back and watch Top Gun. Dan the Mopar Man says, gee, Rob Yoda, first you almost get barbecued in the fires, and now you're getting flooded. You guys can't catch a break, can you? Yeah, probably not. That kind of sucks. But the rain's going to help with the breathing out there a lot. Yeah, it sucked, TW. It may be hours before you could make a call. Yeah. And then if your mom or dad wanted to use the phone, they would pick up and say, I'm listening now, get off the phone or I'm going to continue listening. And then all you could say is, Mom! Yeah. I never understood how to do 3-way calling. It was funny. You had to like hang up and like hit the receiver real quick, dial the other number, and then like hit like the star or pound button or something, and then it would, yeah. I always screwed it up though. Tundra Whisperer says, I was reading that bum is on the trading block. Okay. Hey, Richard, what's a flip phone? It's ancient technology uses speak of. That use speak of. LMAO, laugh out loud. Actually, the Razor phone was one, I got one of them. Like, right when it came out, I'm like, I'm getting this. And it was a great phone, but the back never stayed on it because it was so thin. Every time it would, like, bend a little bit, the back would pop off. Call boxes, air raid sirens, and real vehicles made out of metal that only got 5 miles to the gallon. The good old days. Hey, Rob Yoda. My truck only gets like 8 in city driving. So, 8-ish. But the highway, I can get 17. But I don't never drive on the highway, so I'm screwed. Tundra Whisperer says, I know, what the heck? Mad Bum couldn't be gone. That would bum me out. Renaissance Man used to call 900 numbers, LOL. Yeah, now he dials 876. Renaissance says, Gardner, haha. Then the car man says, this is what happens when you're the baby of the bunch. I'm only 33 years old. Yeah, I had a 12-year-old by that time. Actually, and a 10-year-old. Same. Tundra Whisperer. Bum is one of the best. He's a free agent after next season, and then would lose him then anyway. There you go. I just want to let everyone know I will let Gardner off the hook with the last comment. If you want to hear me come back, IG me. I had a pager too, LOL. Yeah, and they actually stopped us from taking them to school because they thought we were drug dealers. That part was funny. Riding the dinosaur was awesome. Parking them sucked. Especially them T-Rex. I mean, I don't know. I don't see how a T-Rex would be a good one. I mean, they're really big and round. And if you started to fall, they couldn't catch you. I mean, they can't even... Yeah. Gear Runner says, I thought I was big pimping. Yeah, we all did. Then after about 6 months, everybody had one. It's like, oh, okay. Rob Yoda, I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. They won't dinosaurs were pretty hard to park from what I was told from my parents. Yeah, it's kind of like parking a Tundra without a backup camera. Renaissance Man says pagers. Haha. Yeah. I still have an old portable CD player. Now, was that a Sony Walkman? Brandon, just say it. Renaissance Man, King is not here to delete the comments. LOL. But we got gear. A Renaissance Man, what's a pager? It was seriously a box about the size of this battery that numbers would show up on that you wouldn't have to call back. Hey Richard, what's a CD player? My first car came with an 8-track player. Still have it. You know what? My first car came with an 8-track player too. Took the 8-track player out and I put in a... it was a 2 separate unit. So you had the dial thing that had the buttons. They weren't... The presets, you didn't like hold them or anything. You had to get it in tune, pull the black button out and push it back in. So yeah, I know what you mean. Back when the dashboards were all made out of metal. I have a VCR. I think we do too. Rob Yoda, oh man, dude, now that's old technology. An 8-track, yikes. Talk about ancient relic technology. Hey, we didn't start talking about the reel-to-reels that I grew up with. You know, the 2-track reel-to-reels? Oh yeah. They were a beaut. Richard, what's a VCR? LOL. Brandon, I don't want to offend Gardner. It isn't bad, just don't want Gardner punching holes in the cardboard box house. Well, hopefully it's not raining. Gear Runner says, I was dating 2 girls at the same time when I had a pager. One found out and then they and would drive by the other one's house when I was there and page me hello. That relationship didn't last much longer. I bet not. Rob Yoda says 8-tracks were only in the 70s. That wasn't too long ago. Yeah, I had a 77 Ford. Yes, I did actually have a Ford, and that thing ran forever. It took out 3 deers and a Saturn. Dan, what do you have in Idaho? LOL, Renaissance Man. He could fix the holes with the awesome Ryobi tools he has. Yeah, he could fix the Ryobi tools with something that would fix the holes. Duct tape. Rob Yoda, the 70s were before even my time. I was born in the 80s. Nah, I was in the 70s. What's an 8-track? It's a big square box that you put in with a tape in it. You were a player, Gear, says Jack. LOL, that's hilarious, Gear. Yeah, stuff like that happened all the time. Girls didn't trust guys back then. They would just constantly page them, just in case. Gear Runner says, LOL, Jack. I really was. Dan the Carman says, Renaissance Man, we have smartphones, DVD players, Blu-rays, PS4s, Xbox Ones, and we don't have that old ancient technology. You guys have even older than we have order online. But guess what? I will tell you, our cassette players lasted forever. I actually have a Laserdisc player. It was a 12-inch CD, basically, that had movies on it. How old is your kid now, Edge? My youngest is 20, and my oldest is 22. Good job. Looky what Courtney can do.
Yay.
Renaissance says, the news showed a big accident in Idaho. A potato T-boned a tumbleweed. Renaissance Man, we have all the modern technology you can dream of. We don't have the old relic antique technology you guys have. LOL. But you know what? It worked.
Yeah, but we know how to talk to people.
Exactly. And we can also go out and do stuff for ourselves.
Nope, shut it down, Brian.
You know, there's a lot of stuff that we learned back then, just in socializing, that a lot of kids don't have nowadays because everything is virtual.
Like playing in the dirt.
Yeah,
Just saying.
I agree with Courtney. Like playing in the dirt, making mud pies,
Best.
and trying to get your friend to eat them because you told them they taste like strawberry. Dan, I was born in the 80s. I'm not that old, but I grew up in an old town. There you go.
So did I.
I am glad people don't grow a rat's tail anymore. Very true. Or a mullet. Renaissance Man says that was actually in Oregon. They're on the border between Oregon and Idaho. Well, that's where Courtney's from. Dan, you guys have Teddy Ruxpin? I did. And that is a cassette player for you guys. Oh my god, boom. Comment of the night goes to Rennie. I had a rat's tail gardener in elementary school that I could wrap around my head twice. I actually had hair, a full head of hair, all the way down to my belt. Yeah. Edge, it was a Sony Walkman. There you go. Renaissance Man. Who dat? Retract that comment real fast. Rob Yoda says, I think they were finally able to get the fires under control, but then again, who knows with the high winds. Yeah, and that's what's been killing you this year. You have had a lot of wind this year compared to normal years, haven't you? No worries, Rob Yoda. I was born in Old Town myself, but I would always get the latest technology.
Going back up. You get
Bye.
the dog this time.
Richard Gardner, I used to have a camera that would make a pic and eject the film out the front. Yes, that's a Polaroid. They still sell them, though, so I don't think that one counts. They don't still sell 8-tracks. You drove that thing a long way to take out Saturn. No, that's actually one of the reasons I didn't drive for about 10 years. Don't forget to hit the edge of the like button. Thank you very much, Mike. Polaroid pictures. Good one, Mike. An 8-track was an improvement over that 7-track junk. See? There you go. Dan the Mopar Man says, at Richard, what's a Polaroid camera? Richard says, I had a fanny pack back in the 90s. Yo, did you them things are coming back. Oh my God, that's ridiculous. They still make Polaroids, Dan, LOL. I invested heavily into Beta. Yeah, there you go. Renaissance says, hi, Courtney. And before he says it, supplies. Hey to Courtney. You can still buy vinyl records and vinyl record players. Yes, actually about 2 years ago, I finally sold my turntables and I have about 500 pieces of vinyl up in my attic. So yes. That's actually what I started out DJing with. Really sucked. Vinyl gets heavy, especially when you put it in a 1-inch MDF box. Didn't know they had 7. I had a 4. It was a Walkman. My first tape player was a Teddy Ruxpin. You put the tape in it and it would go crazy. It would. That thing was like possessed. I virtually picked my nose. Not that satisfying. We can all imagine it though. And I think you got about this deep. You know, probably about halfway. It was really up there, right? Your eye itched. When you guys used to listen to tapes, did you prefer duck or scotch? That's funny. Richard Gardner says, Renaissance, did you eat it? And if so, what flavor was it? Was it salty? I still have my old 45s and a record player. I have a lot of vinyl upstairs. Scotch tape. Rob Yoda says, I want my 94 Chevy Suburban with a 383. Gets better fuel mileage than your Tundra. At least getting 10 in town and 18 on the freeway. You see, the big problem is I'm noticing when I had the full tank of gas in it, the mileage was worse. But as the tank's going down, I have less weight. It's getting better. And I also think that it's starting to get used to how I'm driving. Because the other guy that drove it, it was always up high in the RPMs because he used it to tow a trailer. So it was always in tow haul mode and everything. So now I see that the RPMs are going down a little bit and it's shifting at a lower RPM. So it'll be going back up to about the 10 where my other ones were. I have 78 records and a record player that you had to crank. That is cool. My Scotch tape doesn't sing to me anymore. Sorry to hear that. My dad has an old Victrola with around 30 records that still works. It was my great-great-grandmother's. Them things they're nice. And you just can't get any sound like that out of them nowadays. I mean, that was just a classic sound. That's what I got gear. The Strange at Renaissance Man says that would be one of the best tapes ever. Now, gear, they don't have great sound quality, but that sound is just classic. It's like the sound that you would get in like a black and white 40s, like 40s or 50s movie. It's almost like the music you would get in like Chaplin or something. Nice mic. They don't have great sound quality. LOL. My dad's car still has an ice box you hang in the window for AC. How about the defroster that you used to put on the rear deck of your car? That, yeah, that was a good one. No, they didn't, gear. Hey guys, you don't know I'm being a smart aleck, right? I know where the flip. Yeah, we know, Dan. We're on to you, buddy. My truck is so old it has a tape deck. I tell people it's a mailbox. There you go. Don't know how well that would work, but they still make Polaroid cameras. That's some old technology and with a modern twist. LOL. Yeah, and they actually take a pretty good picture though. LOL Rennie says, Jack, Luke Combs, country singer, just put out a vinyl record. No joke. Actually, a lot of people still put out like original copies in vinyl because they do last a very long time. Not to mention the first copy of almost every record made by a lot of people is actually a pressed vinyl. It's kind of cool. A Renaissance Man, I think it's time that you get a new truck. Your truck's older than me. Yes, it is. Gear Runner says most vehicles now don't even come with a CD player anymore. And I was actually surprised. Mine did. That's a collector's truck now at Renaissance Man. I actually looked at getting a tape player for my truck. Those things are the best, except for when they wouldn't eject. You would push the button in and the spring would pop and you'd have to reach in with pliers and pull your tapes out and then hope that it wasn't still engaged inside. You know how it would be weaved in and out? Yeah, because then your tape was just screwed. Then, I'm the preserver of history. It even runs on dinosaur fossils. It actually does run halfway decent considering. Yeah, that's crazy, Gear. I still listen to the CD player all the time. MP3s killed CD. Yep. Just like video killed the radio store. Renaissance Man says, get with the times, Brando, get with the times. I have a CD player, but I will never use it, says Tundra Whisperer. And video killed the radio star. Yeah, I figured that was coming in somewhere. Renaissance Man says, with you, I wouldn't doubt it. A lot of new vehicles don't come with CD players, says Jack. They don't. I don't have any music downloaded on my phone. Still listen to the radio or CDs. LOL. Actually, I just use the free version of Pandora and I deal with the commercials. Yeah, Brandon, my wife's car doesn't have a CD player or a volume knob. It's just a touch screen for up and down. Now that sucks. Now, correct me if I'm wrong here, but you have the same JBL system that I have in my truck. And that volume knob, it's just nice. It's nice to have a tangible thing to turn. You know, I don't know. There's just something about it. Digital downloads are going to replace Blu-ray and 4K one of these days. It will, especially when you can get 5 terabytes for like $140 for space. The MP3 player was the first time I ever heard music off the road. Tried planning things before your tape would get ate or your CD wouldn't skip. You know what? And that's funny. I remember sitting in front of the old big console stereo that had the reel-to-reel, it had the tuner in the middle, and it had the vinyl player on the right. And I remember putting my tape recorder up against the speaker to record music off the radio. Mike says he actually has Pandora on his phone. Does that make him cool? Kinda. Gear Runner says, I have over 2,500 songs on my phone. Not me. Tundra Whisperer, my wife has a Spotify account for the family, and it's really nice to use. You know what? That's another good one. It is. It's almost the same as Pandora. Kinda. Gear Runner says Apple Music. Renaissance says you're cool, Roten. Don't ever change. Brandon says I wouldn't hate not having a volume knob at Gear Runner. They should still be in cars, in my opinion. Yeah, I agree. Brian has a puzzled look on his face. Must be something I said, lol. Possibly. Mike's laughing. Richard Gardner says, Coca-Cola don't have drugs in it anymore. No, it doesn't. Tundra Whisperer says, or it is gas, lol. We all have that look, Dan. You just can't see us. Hey guys, I gotta drop off. I'm back in time. I'll listen to more. Comment if you don't. Yeah, he's leaving. Have a good night, sir. The 2019s do, Brandon. Honda, I guess, got so much negative feedback that they added it back in. LOL. See, that's funny. Everyone's saying bye to Dan. My truck doesn't have quarter panels anymore. Darn technology. By the way, Rennie, is that thing still really driving? I mean, your Ford is really beat up, but that thing just runs. LOL, I couldn't imagine if I would imagine there was a lot of complaints. I can imagine that too. I really can. Have a good night, Dan. Later, Dan. Lighter for better MPG, Rennie. Yeah. Rennie's truck is loaded down, though. Kodak don't make cameras anymore or film for the acting industry. Wow, didn't know that. Is that first in the blanket of many? It is. There's probably going to be about 16 or 25 of them squares. Gear says, hence the absence of doors. Very true. That just gets the airflow. Gear Runner says, nice, Rennie. I think you're onto something here. Love turning my knobs. I bet you do, sir. Ram trucks have 2 volume knobs. One on the volume and one to shift into gear. LOL. Very true. And that's one of the reasons I hate the Rams. I really do. That's just stupid. Brushless tools, doorless trucks. What will they think of next? Well, I mean, Jeep's doing it. I mean, they're coming out with the Gladiator. That's like a doorless truck, right? Gear Runner says, LOL, Brandon. If you want to have a car in a parking lot, buy a manual. Nobody knows how to drive them anymore. There you go. Why were you locked outside till the street lights came on, Rob Yoda? The new Jeep truck can be doorless, LOL, Mike Roten. True. I just recently saw a brand new Tesla. Not one knob or button to be seen. It's sweet looking, no. Carbon fiber dashboard. Those things are sweet looking inside. They really are, but I have a problem with having a 32-inch TV in my car. Yeah, I have to be home when the streetlights came on. Didn't know why you were locked out. Yeah, same thing for me. Does anyone on here like the new Jeep truck? Not really. It looks like they forced it. I heard all the Wranglers and maybe even the new Jeep truck can be topless. Possibly. Tundra Whisperer says the Tesla got bad safety ratings because everything is controlled through the screen. You have to spend more time looking at the screen than the road. LOL. But they are putting in voice command to change traction, sport modes, and other things like that. So that's not going to be a problem. And the icons and everything are big enough to where you can still see it out of your peripherals. So, for the most part. The Pinnacle in Bristol was like 6 or 8 Tesla charging stations. Yeah, you know what? We have a Wawa around here that has like 10 of them. And I'm like, oh my God. And there was like 8 cars. I'm like, who in my town can afford Teslas? And not even that. How can there be that many to afford Teslas? I was confused. Yeah, Tundra Whisperer, the truck looks kind of awesome. I was locked out because my parents were too cheap to give me a key to the house, and I had to wait until they got home. Well, there you go. My truck, yeah, it turns. I hit some reluctant to pay clients. Those dents can be buffed out. Yeah. LOL says, Mike, I know Brandon. Talk about distracted driving. That's a ridiculous screen. What size motor is in the new Jeep truck? It's a 4-liter of some sort, isn't it? Got you, Rob Yoda. I like the new Jeep truck. Wish I didn't have so much modern junk in it. Yeah, I think Jeep should stay basic, honestly. I like the Chevy SSR. That was a truck and car all in one. That looked like crap at Richard Gardner. Rob has an El Camino that looked like a truck and a car combined. Yeah. Not as bad as the Subaru Brat. Oh my god. I like the Plymouth Prowler. Not bad. I'm a traditional Jeep lover. Drove nothing but a CJ5 for 7 years. Don't care for the new stuff. I agree. Richard Gardner says, I want to know. Does the DeLorean car that is making? I want to know DeLorean car that they are making, and it is supposed to be a pure electric. As long as you can go 88 miles an hour, buddy. Rob Yoda says, I thought the Ridgeline was a new El Camino. LOL. True at Rob Yoda, says Brandon. Nope, it's Rob's two-wheel drive Controma. Wow. Tacoma. LOL. In Chattanooga, Tennessee, they have a self-driving pure electric bus that you can ride around in for free. Yeah, no, you got to pay me to take take them kind of chances with my life. Mike, a 75 CJ5 was my first vehicle. Sounds nice. Those stations aren't for the poor people in town. They are for the rich people passing through. Okay, see, now I understand. Mike said I had an 80 and a 79 silver anniversary. Tundra Whisperer said 3.6 V6 in the Jeep truck and a 3.0 diesel next year. There you go. Brendan has the information. True Runny, I wonder if I can park my Xterra there. They were pretty close parking spaces, LOL. Well, I guess if you spend that much money for a car, you get benefits, right? Google self-driving car is pretty cool. I got to sit in it when I go from building to building when I work on their servers. See, now that sounds good. Or like maybe in an airport or something like that. I could see that. Put the big Hemi in it, Brandon. Then I might like it. Tundra Whisperer says, yeah, and Throb has a 4x2 that looks like a 4x4. Shaking my head. Yes, exactly. Gear Runner says, nice, Jack. Do you trust it? I probably would. It probably only goes like 3 miles an hour, maybe 5 miles an hour in the open corridors, maybe. Gear Runner, the bus sounds interesting. Have you been in it, or is it another place that your kilt has been banned from? Rob Yoda says, forget about self-driving cars. They already have drone taxis now. Yeah, no. That would be cool, Mike Roten. Don't tell Carlos, but the Hemi is pretty nice. I love the Dodge 4-door small cab truck that my grandfather gave me, but I have to sell it because I needed the money at the time. Oh, that sucks. No, I don't trust it. It's man-made. It will fail, Gear. Very true. I fully agree with Jack on that one. Fully agree. Just remember, it's a computer. Crap in, crap out. It's not about the actual thing. It's about the thing behind the thing that worries me. Throb's new Taco is only 2-wheel drive. Yes, it is. Disrespectful. Gear Runner says, agreed, Jack. Yeah, Rob Yoda 559. Yep, 4x2 only. Come on, Edge. Open your mind and expand your horizons. Now, how humans drive, I'll let the computer show for me around any day. All right, when you put it like that, Runny, maybe. Yep, Rob Yoda. Tundra Whispers, loves Rob's new truck, right? LOL. Why, no. Not. I would love to have a pure electric self-driving car, not me. Just imagine when you will see flying cars, and technology is already there, but the government won't allow it yet. I agree. Now, granted, they're probably flying around in them. We're not. No, you wouldn't, Gardner. They'll crash a lot. I'm not a fan of flying. Me neither. Tundra Whisperer says, notice every complaint video Throb does on the Taco, the Tundra excelled in. Crazy. He really should have never got rid of the Tundra. He shouldn't have. I don't understand what he was thinking. I really don't. And all this stuff about, oh, well, it wouldn't fit in my garage. Come on. There's worse things than letting your car be in the rain. They have flying cars on, one of my friends owns one. He flies it to the airport, drives it about a mile from his home every day. Wow. I worry about the mouth breathers behind the 2-ton brick looking at the 3-ounce phone. Yes. There was a Tesla with a drunk driver the other day in the Bay Area. A guy was asleep at the wheel on autopilot. Took 7 miles for the cop to pull it over. Courtney says it fits his needs. I guess we're talking about Rob. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of, Gear, I'm not a big fan of Flight either. They are making flying ambulances. Tundra Whisperer said Gear. Brandon, I saw that on the news. The Tundra didn't fit. Girls got rid of me for smaller reasons. There you go. Brendan says, Tundra Whisperer, Throb made a big mistake with the Taco. He makes several videos a week talking about how he misses the Tundra, LOL. And Rob Yoda says, LOL. Gear says, huh? That would so be me, says Renaissance Man. Brandon says, LOL, Renaissance Man. Richard Gardner says, 2019, all the Lexus cars are going to be pure electric and hybrid. I don't know. But, guys, we've been on here for 2.5 hours. Thank you for spending your Sunday evening with us. Hope you guys all have a great week at work and have a good rest of the night. Some of us, it's almost over. Some of us, it's just starting. So, hope you guys are getting prepared for the holiday season. And I'll see you next time, guys. Have a nice night. See you next Sunday. Good night, guys.